You know, this is going to be a very unique devlog time as I've actually not added any new forms or riders. Does that mean I've added nothing? Nope, no, I've added a lot. This is going to be fun. This week I have done an incredible amount of coding. The mob I'm going to show you later is incredibly complex. But because of this, I've kind of been itching to do some textures and stuff. So, you know what? I'm going to do a challenge. And I'm also going to extend this challenge to you. I am currently 70 subscribers of 6,000. So you know what? For every new subscriber closer to 6,000 this video gets me, I'm going to add an item. This could go very wrong very quickly. So one new sub closer to 6,000 equals one new item. So a potential of 70 items I'm going to add in a week. That's going to be insane. Okay, subscribe if you want to torture me. So let's get into some of the new stuff. If you didn't know, this is the year of the horse. And because of this, we've had a multitude of different franchises celebrating by posting stuff involving horses. Now, they could have chose to post something with the horse off Orphanok, otherwise known as Kamen Rider Oja. Not Oja. Is it Oja? Kamen Rider Orga. There we go. This dude, he's a horse. They could have chose Majade. I mean, unicorns are practically horses, right? But no, they chose Zets. I mean, current series, I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense. But Zets isn't a horse, so they gave him a horse that looks like Zets. And I remembered, I added the Gaim horse armor. Fun times. And so I added Zets horse armor. Yeah, you. Why are you always standing up here by this ledge? This horse has a death wish. I'm telling you. Don't. No. You coming away. You're coming down here where it's safe. So this is the Zets horse armor. Now, it isn't one-for-one recreation of the Zets horse armor appeared in that picture, mostly because of the saddle. I can't change the saddle, so I kind of had to work around that, but I think this turned out pretty amazing. Kind of hilarious. I love the fact that I managed to actually get the mane going from the kind of teal to white, and same with the tail. I mean, there is a bit of weirdness with the tail, because you can see that this horse would normally have a black tail. You can kind of see it on the inside. I mean, let me just take off the armor so you can see how much has changed. That versus that, I think this looks amazing. And if I grab some armor, I'm Zets on the Zets horse. But all seriously, this is absolutely hilarious. The idea is to add that to the Gashapon ball, and I don't know if somebody else on the team has done it, so let me just spam a bunch of these. I think I just spotted it. Was that was the Zor's armor? So yes, it is now in the Gashapon ball. Gotta love adding stuff to the Gashapon ball. Now, do you have any ideas for things we can add for the Gashapon ball? I promise not to send you to the glue factory like the last one. He's gonna go to the glue factory, isn't he? Now, over the last couple of weeks, we have been slowly updating Showa, with me doing the Ichigo stuff, and then Andrew doing V3 and Riderman. But there's something that's always been missing about Riderman. Something that's always been missing. I always find it funny that you can see the player's texture underneath the mask. I think it looks amazing. Either way, look. Riderman now has hands. Let's start off with the rope arm. I don't think this does anything. Does it have attack damage? It has 6. It does stuff. I don't actually know if it does stuff. Then we have the power arm. That's got 8. And then the drill arm. That goes really fast. That's at 7. And that's at... Wait. Oh no. Good thing the reset happened. And I do know the drill arm actually acts like a pickaxe. Then we have the machine gun arm. Would it do anything else? Absolutely not. And then the cutter arm. There's a little blade. And that does 6. Thank you, Andrew. One of the things I absolutely love that I kind of wish we had more of are the bikes. And well, thanks to Chair, we have the Boost Striker. Now, as you can tell by the fact it hasn't got a texture for the item yet, this is still a work in progress. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. You can ride it. You could drive around. You could go, wee wee, yeah, Boost Striker, yeah, yeah. And that's pretty much all you could do. I mean, you could also change the logo on the front here. If you click on it with some core IDs, you can change the little icon on the front. That's interesting, right? Now, there's going to be another feature associated with this, but you know what? I think we're going to keep that a secret and just say if you know, you know. But either way, this is pretty much everything the Boost Striker does at the moment. I think it's awesome. Let me know. Do you think Chair did an amazing job with this? Because I do. I do. With the little smoke from the wheel, that always looks awesome when you get off a bike. Boost Striker. And now, I guess, it's time to get into the complicated mob. So, let's get into this. And I've just regen this world. This is my little kind of test world that I always have. I just regened it because I know there's something over here. In ruined portals, there is now a chance of you finding this. Now, what good is the advent deck? I mean, you can store items in it, but you don't have any cards because, well, we've removed them all. What can you do with it? Well, first things first, if you craft it with some rider circuits, you get the contract cards. So yes, that's how you get the blank now. So if I wanted to, I could go boom, boom, and boom, meaning just like that, we have an almost full set, but we are now missing the belt. So how do we get the contract cards? How do we get Drag Redder? How do we get Darkwing? How do we get all of these? Well, we need to join the Rider War. So if I just place this glass here, and you can see I have an advent deck. This only works if you have an advent deck on you and you break it. It plays an ear-piercing weird little noise, and it gives you this effect called mirror noises. And then as soon as mirror noises is over, it spawns in one of the mirror riders. I probably should have gave myself a sword. Oh no, he's got a pair of scissors. He's running with scissors! Oh no, oh no! But yes, the mirror riders that spawn from this will equip their armor and will equip their weapon. Be it blasters, be it scissors, be it shields, they will change up. And you know what? Let's just fast forward this. Let's try that again now that I've got a strength boost. Ear-piercing noises. Is the sun even moving on this world? I don't know. The time might be frozen. Yeah. So if you defeat them, they drop their cards. And this will keep in mind what rider they were. So as you can see, that was Scissors. Now you might be wondering why Scissors spawned in twice. Are they all Scissors? Yes and no. Depending on where you are and even what time of day it is, will affect what rider will spawn. As you can see, we are on a beach and crabs spawn on beaches. So it's Scissors. Yeah, literally, I thought it was funny just putting Scissors on a beach. Ah, he actually dropped his scissors. They are my scissors now. Now, this effect will spawn in the mob depending on where you are when the effect runs out. What do you think would happen if I placed it here, which is technically a beach, destroyed it, and then made a run for it into the middle of the ocean. Hopefully I can get enough distance. We get Raya. Yep. Probably should put Raya somewhere other than oceans, because you can't really place glass here easily. Either way. Do you like my pair of scissors? And as you can see, Raya drops Raya's stuff. Now, technically, all of these are the same mob. I could have coded in a separate mob for every single one, but I chose to do just one singular mob for all but one of the Mirror Riders. I'm going to get into that one in a sec. You know what? Let's spawn in some more. I really do think time is just froze on this world. I think I might froze it on my world that I test stuff on, and this is a clone of that world, so it might have copied that command over. Okay, this bit of the map here is classed as a forest. Who do you think spawns in forests? Take your bets. Come on, in the comment section below. Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? Don't cheat and type it in later. Who do you think is going to spawn in with all of this wood? It's all green. Green. It's green. Oh god, no. Meh. Yay! Love that effect. Now, if you are at a location that doesn't count as one of the Pacific biomes, for example, forest or beach or ocean, you get Ryuki. Now, it's set up so it's Ryuki during the day and then night during the night, because I thought it was funny to put night in the night. Another one that I thought was funny, well, this is a tiger forest. Who's going to spawn in the tiger? Who's it going to be? The suspense is killing me. I mean, I know who it is. It's Tiger. We got Tiger in the tiger, and he's got an axe. You know, with the rest of these, I think I'm just going to spawn them in with the spawn egg. In swamps, well, you get the poisonous dude. And in badlands and deserts, you get Guy. And in savannas, you get Impara. For some reason, I decided to have the crab spawn on mountains. I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. I need something of you. Thank you. Now, what do you think would happen if you take all of these advent cards that each of those 9 riders drop? I didn't show night, but night does spawn. Oh no, it might be shaped. Yes, it's shaped. I was hoping it would be shapeless. But yes, if you craft all 9 of the Advent Riders together, you get an Odin boss block. And then if you would place this, and then break it, it would spawn in Odin. And if you defeat Odin, this is how you get the survive cards. So as you can see, we got the survive card for night. Well, that is just how you get the survive cards. What about Ryuki's cards that he used in survive? What about Knight's cards he used in survive? If this is just how you get the basic survives, how'd you get the rest of them? Well, it's actually quite simple. If you remember, I said these riders are spawned in a left-handed one. That's a 1 in 10 chance. That's amazing. So if you remember, I said these riders can change forms. As you can see, as they fight, they have a chance of changing their weapons or changing their forms. I think one of the ones that changes forms is Zolda has a chance of getting the cannons on the back. So he used the sword vent. See what else is going to happen here? It's a 1 in 10 chance every time they take damage. I think Ryuki might have this unless Zolda does something interesting. Yeah, that was Ryuki there. But yes, as I said, they can, whenever they take damage, there's a chance they might use like a sword vent, a guard vent, or whatever. Well, what do you think would happen if you attacked him, but you have a survive card? Now, it doesn't matter which of the 3 survives you have, As you can see, I have the survive for Night here, not the survive for Ryuki. But if I attack Ryuki, he goes into survive. Now, this doesn't just change his appearance, it changes the items that they can summon, as well as the items they can drop. There's so much more fire when this Ryuki's involved. As you can see, he can now drop both the cards associated with Ryuki, but the cards associated with Ryuki survive. I don't care what anyone says. These battles are just so much fun to do. Just spawn in a bunch. And then just watch the chaos unfold. Look, we've got the cannon there. We've got the claw, whatever it is there. Iron Horn, I think it's called. I hit the wrong button there. I think one of these Ryukis have their shield out. This one's got the strike vent going on. He's got a giant cannon. This is pure chaos going on here. Yeah, spawning in a ton of these things are just so much fun. Maybe I should get some Ryas involved. Get some crabs fighting some Ryas. This is so much fun. I love this mob. But that's not everything. There's even more. And you know what? I'm going to boot to the other world to show you these. So this is my normal test world that I test these kind of things on. You can see that I've been setting up iron and that. Oh, actually, whilst I'm thinking about it, the blank advent decks, you don't just get them from the ruined portals. You can also get them from dungeons, as well as I believe one of the ones over here, if I can find him, also has it. And fun fact, the 3 emeralds is a reference to the fact Ryuki is the 3rd Heisei rider. But if we go into the Nether, it also changes the ones that can spawn in here. We have Fem. We have Ryuga. We have Verde. We've got all 3. And of course, Ryuga can go into Ryuga survive. If he doesn't die. And Fem's got the shield, but she's still lost. He's just too good. Unlike the overworld, the ones in there are completely random out of those 3. So you might have to stay in there a bit, take some glass, spend some time, get the cards you want. But what do you think would happen? I don't know. In the end, there's a lot of cards lying around here. You could tell I've been here before. But this is where Alternative and Alternative Zeros will spawn. I love the fact that they can summon their weapons. I mean, a few of these have swords. Either way, goodbye! But there are a few riders still unaccounted for. And, well, what do you think would happen if we did this in the city? I forgot I had already spawned these in. Yes, this is where Kamen Rider Abyss spawns in, and I figured it'd be fun just to add, well, Mirror ZO in here. Now this is where you now get the Mirror ZO Ride Watch required for ZO2. Because I figured, why not link this up with the city? Why not link this up with Ryuki? Now this is where Kamen Rider Fotel is going to spawn, but unfortunately she doesn't have any cards currently, so I figured, what's the point in having her even spawn if she wouldn't drop anything required for the crafting? I think we're going to need to watch Girls Remix before we actually add her, but this is where she's going to be. I could honestly watch these guys go for hours like this. It's hilarious. So let me know, do you think I did a good job at these mobs? As I said, the ore is going to be removed. I believe now this makes every rider from Ryuki currently obtainable. The only 2 cards, maybe, yeah, the only card, I think it's singular, that was obtainable before that isn't obtainable now is the card for the blank ride saber associated with Ryuki blank. You know what? I might do something stupid like just put that card in the Gashapon ball. Just Who cares about that one? When you could just use the Ryuki saber. So, yes, there's a few other things that have changed, but you know what? I'm gonna end things here. So if you've enjoyed this for even a split second, please do consider hitting subscribe, because especially at the moment, as I said, 70 off 6,000, and for every subscriber close to that goal I get this week, I'll add a new item. So till next time, goodbye. This dude, he's a horse.